Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this how-to video. This is going to show you how to create a resurrection team where you can roster star players and or any other inducements that you've got. This is in particular for the league I run, the Priest of Nuffle Invitational, but it's obviously good for any resurrection team as well. So one of the issues with the engines that we have is that you can't roster stars, although sometimes you might want to. So this is kind of a workaround for that. It's fairly easy, but there's just a couple of steps and orders you need to go through to make sure it works. So first of all, click on Play on League, and then as usual click on Create Team. Now if you've been keeping up to date with the channel, you know I'm going to be playing a halfling team, so just click on Next. Again, you have to put some of these boxes in, so you have to put a team name in. You don't need a motto. Logo you don't need either, and obviously your jerseys is fine, but what you do need to do is click on Custom Team. Okay, so make sure that's that box is selected, then click on Next. Okay, that's already in use. Yada yada yada. Okay, that should be alright, I think. Okay, that's fine. Now you need to put a stadium name in as well. So click on Create. Now here I'm going to actually, I'm going to click on No here. I clicked on Yes earlier, but there's a few things that changes, so I'm going to click on No, so you can see me adding the whole roster. Okay, so this is the very beginning. You've got to create your team. So what you want to do is buy. I'm going to buy 2 treemen and then say 14 flings as well. Or I should say 12 to give you a total roster of 14. Now, with the engine limitations, you must have a team of 11, else it won't work. So no matter if you've got 1 star or 2 or whatever, you need to add a minimum of 11 here. So you should always have 11 here. So that's the first thing to do. So I'm going to confirm the purchase there, and that'll bring up the next thing. Now, for the moment, I'd leave this alone. You don't need to do anything here. Well, I'll show you why in a moment. But you don't need to do anything there. And again, I'll click on Done, and that should bring up my my roster here. Now, what I need to add first, or what I suggest you add first, is all the inducements and all the other bits and pieces that you need to add. So if you go to the club tab, first of all, one thing we do suggest is to have the best stadium you can get. And again, you don't have to do this, but it's just nice to see the level 4 stadiums. Usually when you're playing in a ladder or a round robin or Swiss league, you never usually have enough cash to get up to level 4, so it's just nice to see them on some of these things. Now in our particular competition, the PONI competition, you need to add a Nuffle altar as well. So again, I'm going to add that now just by finding it here and clicking on buy, and that's added to. Yeah, that's all I need to add. So I've got my team here, and this is where we can add rerolls and skills. So again, I'll just show you how that's done in case you didn't know already. So we'll click on a treeman here. To add a skill, you click on level up. Let's go for block first of all, and we'll click OK and level up again. Again, we'll go for a strength skill this time, so we'll go for piling on. So that's fine, and then a third time level up again, double skills, it's fine, just click on it and you can find it. So let's go on jump up as well. Okay, so click on OK, that's all fine. So he's now level 4. You can see the values change there as well, and when we go back to the roster, you can see he's got those skills now and he's got an increased value. It's also affected your TV here as well, or it should a bit later on. So the next thing to do is add any of these that you've got rostered as well. So I don't know if you've rostered cheerleaders or rerolls or appos or coach assistants or even fun factor, but if you have, that's great. Now, what we normally suggest is to use this workaround. You can do it a bit more precisely other ways, but this is probably the easiest way to do it. So what we suggest is you take your rerolls all the way up to 8. Okay, and that should cover all the inducements you need to buy. So essentially you just need to check that the inducements you're going to spend equals the number times your rerolls here. So on this team, for example, I've taken it up to 8 here. I'm going to take that all the way down to 2 because this team will have 2 rerolls. So 8 take away 2 is 6. So 6 times 6 is 360, and that more than covers the inducements I've got to spend on this team. So that's the only equation you have to check, is that the number of rerolls you're sending back to the game, as it were, covers your inducement. So just be on the super safe side. you can do that again. So again, add again up to 8 rerolls, and maybe some cheerleaders as well. Okay, all the way up to 10, and then take it down to where you need to be. Okay, so cheerleaders will be none, and rerolls, as we said before, will be 2. Okay, so essentially what happens is you trick the client into you pay for your rerolls, but when you reimburse it, it adds to your cash. So once you finish creating your team, any of these things that you've refunded, as it were, that's going to be your cash for game 1. Okay, so that's how we kind of trick the client. So I'm going to click out back there, and unfortunately you'll need to go into a custom game to check actually that's worked. So as you can see, I've clicked on the team here, but the gold is still showing as infinite. It's not till I join a league and so on that it'll actually show. So yeah, get that done if you can, and for this particular league, if you get that done for this forthcoming Wednesday, otherwise it's up to your league commissioners. That'd be great. Once that's done, just let us know in the channel, and then we can start sending tickets out and hopefully get the league started as soon as possible. As usual, any questions, just let us know in the Discord channel. But yeah, good luck. Don't forget to do the rerolls. The last thing you need to do is the rerolls. If you buy anything else, that obviously offers the sort of hidden cash you have. So do the rerolls, do the cheerleaders, do the assistant coaches at the very, very end. And don't start refunding one until you've bought everything you need, and then, yeah, do it in turn. If you do get it mixed up, just make sure you do all the rerolls, assistant coaches again at the very end. Okay, thanks for watching. Good luck.